So, you think you can come to my place, throw in a few ice blocks, and walk away unscathed, do you? You're wrong. Oh, you are very wrong. Oh, dear, sweet friends of mine. Oh, jeez. How lewd. Well, I guess I'll have to show you what happens when you try to prank me. You get pranked back. And you'll get pranked even. You get pranked harder. So today, we are going to start what I'm going to be calling 6 Weeks of Hell, in response to the 6 weeks of winter that was brought to my place. And so this is going to be a sort of pranking series I'm going to be doing against these two boneheads. The themes of such things is going to be sort of classic prank ideas, because these guys are not very creative. Brick house, house in the mountain, whatever. Hockey rink, igloo, log cabin, yeah, it's all the same. Is this still? No. I don't want to sound as loud. They need a few lessons in pranking, and so I thought maybe I need to teach them, or show them, some of the best pranks in the business. So what I'm going to be doing is going through some of the best pranks I've ever seen on YouTube and delivering them. Oh wait, hang on a second. Is this a new house? Oh, it's a little fun house. Oh, how quaint. Oh, is it... Ooh, I love skylights. So good. Yeah. Oh, there's more. Hang on a second. There's some... Oh, look at this guy. Got a little house. Oh. I haven't been over here before. Anyway, so we're going to be taking some of the best ideas, some of the best pranks, and putting a little bit of a twist on them of my own personal touch, and showing them what it means to actually prank, instead of just copying what was already done to them, or just covering someone's area in just a simple block texture. And I know I did the ice prank, and that was kind of basic, but I didn't want to go too... I wanted to start simple. These guys, they need to be taught a lesson. So, my first idea for the first week is the classic noisemaker prank. There are so many things in Minecraft that create noise, and there's so many ways of doing noises that can be very annoying. First off, the sound of doors is one of the worst things you can listen to for a while. It's an awful sound. Pistons are another one. Note blocks, of course. Certain mob sounds, definitely. And what else? What else could there be? TNT. That's one. That's a scary one. It's TNT. You never know what's going to happen there. Dispensers. Arrows. Fire charges. Those are always interesting. Ghasts are a terrible one. I'm not going to do ghasts. So let's do a little test run. We're going to go into Creative World. I'm going to show you some designs for some noisemakers. And we'll see which one I like best. See which one I want to inflict on these things, and then we'll come back here and see where we want to put it. See if they can find it. All right. See you in a Creative World. Well now, I think I've had a lot of success in these little experiments. So, this here is known as the RoboPecker 2000 or something like that. It was made by a YouTuber named Generic B. He used it in a prank against another YouTuber named Doc M. And basically what it does is it creates a burnout for the redstone torch by the redstone torch powering the block above it, which in turn powers the redstone, which in turn turns off the torch below it. Because it's going to cycle a bunch of times very fast, it's going to make the torch burn out. So here, watch. And these were used to create a very, kind of like a woodpecker sound in Doc's jungle base. And so this is how this one works. This was done a very long time ago. And so this can also be used in other systems. Oh, Jesus. there is monstrosity. Never do that. That's horrible. It's so loud. So if you try to do this with a door, horrible. Piston, awful. But unfortunately, due to an update in 1.8, the torches no longer turn back on. See, with the original design, the torches would eventually turn back on, and they would restart and do the woodpecker again. So for this time, they'll always remain, for this update, they will always remain off. We don't want that. We want them to be able to turn back on. What the advantage of this versus, say, something like this, which is just general, like just a basic noisemaker, which is very simple, just a simple clock, a little piece of thing, good noise. You don't really want a constant noisemaker for a good sound prank. You want something that can be hidden. And so that's what this original design was. But I've come up with a little design for a fix for the little torch burnout thing. Or not a fix, an alternate design. Which is this guy right here. This is the new RoboPecker. Because of the nature of droppers, if you power a dropper, it will randomly select one space in its inventory that it's filled and send that into and dispense it. If you dispense it into a hopper, it'll put it in, and the hopper will dispense it to wherever it needs to go. So I have this hopper here facing right back into the dropper. So with here, we have a little clock with a comparator which powers the dropper, which sends one random item into the hopper, and the hopper sends it right back in, so it can repeat itself. Now, for this thing, I have a bunch of stacks of wood, just doesn't matter what block it is to make sure it's like a whole stack, and a stack of 64, so it doesn't power the comparator over here as much. And then stone sword, which will give this comparator enough of a signal to power more than 2 redstone pieces. It doesn't have to be a sword, it can be anything that gives off at least more than one signal. And so there's a random 1 in 9 chance of that sword being powered and giving this redstone enough power to power the RoboPecker and relighting the torch. Because the torch can be relit with a block update. Basically, that's how it works. And the reason why I'm doing the torch burnout instead of just using this to power the block itself is because it'll only hit it once. The torch burnout is cool because it'll hit the sound a bunch of times, like I believe 8 times, before actually burning out. And this will give it a chance to update again. I'm sure there's other ways of doing block updaters, but I found this is a pretty cheap, pretty simple, pretty compact space way of doing it. It only goes up 2 blocks. And then one thing to note is that you can't have anything above this block. This block has to be free airspace for the no block to work. I've also come up with a way of creating a delay. So maybe this is a bit too much. It's actually turned right now, so you can't hear it. There you go. So maybe that's doing a little bit too much for you, too much constant noise. Maybe you want something a little less. Okay, I was just making sure. I was like, is this broken? Something a little less of a chance of activating. This one, same design, sandstone, doesn't matter, sword, works well. But I've added another hopper dropper randomizer, and this one has only 4 stacks of sandstone and a sword. So, in the 1 in 9 chance that the sword is activated, it'll activate another randomizer of 1 in 5 chance, so creating a 1 in 30. Wait, 5 times 9. 9 times 9, 45. 45. 1 in 45 chance of activating the thing. Although it doesn't seem like that. Maybe that's not right. Is that not right? 1 times 9. 1 times 9, then 1 times 45. It does go every. It's a tick. Every second is pretty much it. It's activating. So 1 Mississippi, 2 Miss. It's actually no, it ticks. So 4 times per second is going to actually activate that quite a lot often. And you can increase this, you can make this 9, you can add another one, even more delays to make it even less of a chance if you want. But this is going to be the big design for a very randomized sound maker. And this can be done with any sort of, oops, I didn't want to do that. Any sort of, if you want to do a door, you can do a door. Door. Not do itself. And then if you want maybe say a piston, you can do a piston, whatever you want. No block, fence gate, another dropper perhaps, a nice little light clicky sound. The piston is the worst. This is. Could you imagine just having that? It's so loud and so like ridiculously annoying because it creates two sounds. It goes. Voot, 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 voot. It's ridiculous. No, I'm not gonna keep that. But this is good, but it's not enough. There's another design for a noisemaker that was it's a really old design by a YouTuber named Etho. Man, I'm really doing the Minecrafters today. And Etho is one of my favorite YouTubers, and he did a design for a firecracker, a very cool design, and I want to show you that. I also want to test if it still works in this version of the game. Hopefully, it still does. I'd be really sad if it didn't. So what we need is netherrack, we need leaf blocks. Leaf blocks, acacia leaves, sure, that works fine. We need TNT. We need water. We need a solid block. Let's just do stone. And then what's the last thing we need? The last thing we need is water. TNT. We need a lighter. Tools? Is it tools? Yeah, it's tool. Okay. Grab that. This is a firecracker. And what it is it takes advantage of fire and just basically burning mechanics. And so set up this design real quick. So how it works is that it starts a fire here, and that'll in turn start burning these leaf blocks. But burning is kind of a slow process, and so it'll take a little while for the leaf blocks to all go down. What this creates is a 100% foolproof fuse. So it'll constantly go down this line, because the fire on the netherrack will never go out. So it'll constantly keep going down until it eventually starts burning this block, light up this leaf, burn the next blocks, and keep going all the way down the line. So what you can do is set up a little bit of a little pool here. Real quick, we'll just do that and that. You can make this bigger however big you want, doesn't matter. And then just wait. Light the TNT block. Not only that, because the water's there, the other TNT blocks will not ignite, and it won't destroy any of the rest of the firecracker. So what this does is it creates a nice, cool, randomized almost, and very delayed firecracker. Not only that, it's very difficult to locate because it's not constantly going off, and it's a very fast, very sudden motion. If you put a bunch around in an area, you can very much disguise it, so a person won't be able to find it. These are the noisemakers we're going with. I might go ahead and turn fire tick on in the server just because I want to try it. Although that might come back to bite me. Depending on the nether hub. I'm gonna try to. I may need to secure the nether hub a little bit more later on. But yeah, so these are the noisemakers we're gonna go with. We're gonna go with a couple of these guys. A bunch of these just annoying constant noisemakers, and then they'll discover they'll hear a bunch of these guys and be like, oh, he made a bunch of noisemakers. Great work, Joe. And then they'll find them and they'll get rid of them. Then they'll realize, wait a minute, I still hear sounds. And they'll wait, and then they'll hear another one. And they'll wait, another one. They won't be able to locate them because they're very much hidden. And I'm not going to make these things visible. Oh no, I'm leaving them in very much hidden sight, underground, behind mountains and stuff like that. These things are going to be very hidden. I think I'll make a couple of them like visible, so they understand what it is they're dealing with and what it is they're looking for. But for the most part, these things are staying very hidden. And then just to be a jerk, I'm gonna go. That was a lot of minecarts. Alright, so let's go head back on the server. Alright, we're here at a wonderful place known as Icelantis. What am I saying wonderful? It's terrible. It's a terrible place. It's so cold, so boring. It's filled with monsters. Who would want to live in a place like this? Anyway, we've got all the necessary equipment that we need to set up a few of these little noisemakers. And I've actually already hidden a couple around the area. And what I want to do is I'll show you a one real quick. And we'll do like a big one here. So, like I showed in the creative world, the basic setup is this. Just simply throw down a hopper for a nice little clock. And if you don't want to use hoppers, maybe you want to use another resources. There's plenty of different clocks available. Some are very easy to make. This one is just I like this one. It's nice and compact. It only takes 2 blocks, except for the or I guess it's a 1x3 design. So put a little item in there to create a little pulse, and then add a comparator, like so. Why not? Like that, and then add something like this. Oops. There you go. I'll do it on 4 different sides. This is going to be the most annoying part of the entire area. Do that. That's a weird one. This is the worst. And that's the that. Yep. That's basically it. And for my own sanity, I'm going to turn it off for right now. So yeah. So this is the basic thing. I'm doing something like this, but only with one comparator per clock. So they're hidden all around the places and little nooks and crannies that they'll have a bit of difficulty finding. But these are sort of like the bait, the sort of the appetizer for the real ones. These are the ones that they're going to be finding quite quickly because they're going to be constantly going off, and unless they're note block ones, you're going to be able to really easily figure them out because they have a very low range. And just for the sake of their own sanity and just to help them out a bit, I will show you where one is. We have one right here. If you just, I've deactivated their comparators, so just do that, and bam. So yeah, that's all there is to it. And so let's go on a little journey of some setup here. Okay. I wonder if they'll actually be silly enough not to realize that this is here. But we'll cover it up just to be sure. I perfectly expect them to find this one because it's right here. So where else? Maybe I'll throw a couple over there, a couple around each building should be good. And then once I'm done, I'll come back and have them all playing, going off. And then when after that, we'll start working on the real ones, the more interesting ones. See you then. Click, clack, click, clack. I'm not gonna lie, these noises are starting to get annoying. But all the more reason to keep going. Let's see. Yes, perfect. Okay, let's review a little bit. So I've done about 10 note block ones, maybe? Probably about 4 or 5 pistons, 4 or 5 doors, couple of dispensers, about it. I don't think that's good enough for round 1. Now we're gonna go do the use the design I showed off in the creative world of a randomized sound maker that will go off a bunch of times really fast, be really annoying, and then disappear without a trace. Very hard to track, very hard to find, a little big, but if we place them around the area, I guarantee they won't be able to find them very quickly. Let's get started. I've made music here in Icelantis. It's just this is the next big thing. Just random, constant, annoying garbage. Perfect. It's a very fitting theme song for this lovely little town. You hear that piston going off? That's one of the big guys. The Peter, the randomizer. And, oh wow, that door is glitching out. So I've hidden a bunch of these the constant noise makers, a handful of the random repeaters. One more big one. I'm gonna do a firecracker. I won't show you where it is, but hopefully by the time this video goes out, or no, hopefully my plan is to not release this video until after. Okay, here's the plan. We're gonna start working on the sign here, so it's gonna be like here. Where is MDF? So here's my sign. First week of hell, fools. Anybody hear a ring? Or possibly a faint ding? Perhaps this is all you presume. Not a chance. Snap, crackle, kaboom. Commander. I'm a poet. I'm an amazing poet. I didn't even know it. That's like the most lamest rhyme you can ever do, but oh well. Alright. I hope you enjoyed this little prank showcase, this noisemaker showcase that I've done here. And hopefully it all works out and we can get a good reaction from Teletubieslayer and Hooligan. I put this little sign down here for the sake of telling Hooligan to get Dylan on, so that should be fine and dandy. But hope you've enjoyed. We'll see you next time on another prank episode, and hopefully not against me. Bye-bye now.